back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Jew. Let the light in, man. It's the 2-hour lunch break, dog. I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, Ain't Jew, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Late. Coming to you live, putting on for the city. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Late.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
And we are back with another edition, season 5 of the 2-hour lunch break podcast, a podcast for Austin, from Austin. We are back here at home base, Dawa Studios in East Austin, Texas. I am Saint, one half of the 2-hour lunch break podcast, and I got my co-host.
Try with Zeus.
And we got a special guest in the building, Texas A&M University Kingsville graduate, engineer, model, day trader, podcast. Shout out to King Lapo for joining us. How you doing today, brother?
My God, yes sir, doing well, man. Thank you for the brilliant introduction. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, man, we appreciate you, taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you basically a jack of all trades. Yeah. You got a bunch of pots on the stove. So, thank you for pulling up on us, man. Of
course.
Man, starting out, man, let's go ahead and get right to it, man. Let's dig into your background, right? So, born in London, England.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's talk about that journey. You were born in London. What led you to come way from there all the way to Austin, Texas?
Yeah. So essentially, my dad, he's an engineer too. So when my mom and dad, they came from Nigeria, and they met in Nigeria in college, and then they decided to, relocate to London, and that's where they had me. So really, it's all about opportunities as a Nigerian African household. So my dad, he was thinking ahead. How could I set my family up? And at the time, America was the place where everyone was looking at. So he had an opportunity to work in New York. So through that job is how we were able to relocate from London into America. So
Nice. So, talk a little bit about your story and how that helped you with influencing your career choices.
So my story as in terms of coming from a different country.
Yes.
I would say really, man. I would say that I took everything very seriously in terms of the growth and the opportunities that were given to me. So it was very important for me, as an African man, as a black man, to really see what I could do to, inspire others through the gift that God has given me. Right. I always knew that when I was younger, just because how my mom and my dad raised me. They always said, make sure you go after things that is aligned with God's path. So for me, it was very important to, at a young age, to understand that and never stray away. Obviously, we're not perfect. As you're growing up, you have your ups and downs. You have things that you dabble in and try different things. But ultimately, I always knew that, I had to, buckle down and find something to, either fund myself in terms of, my career, where I wanted to go, and then how I could also help people through a platform, whatever it was at the time I didn't know, and then go off of that. So I feel like that was my mindset kind of coming in. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious, right? So I know we were going through the intro, A&M Kingsville grad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? So I went to Angelo State. We played against A&M Kingsville all the time.
Okay.
Bro, what led you to Kingsville? Because the thing is, it's not too many of us in South Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how, what led you ending up there of all places to go to school?
Yeah. So let me take it back. So from when I first came to America, my dad was working in New York. I was in New Jersey. We were living in New Jersey.
Okay.
So in New Jersey, I stayed there for since I was 5 all the way to elementary school. Middle school, I started in Austin, Texas. Okay. So after that, I went to community college, but in between that time in high school, I went back to London for boarding school. So my parents, they wanted me to. It was kind of a thing. My dad went to boarding school. My mom went to boarding school. So they wanted me to kind of experience that lifestyle. So I did that throughout my high school. duration, but I graduated a year early.
Okay.
Went to community college, then transferred to Texas Tech University. So I actually started at Texas Tech.
Okay.
I wanted to do petroleum engineering. And I changed my major, but at the time that I changed my major, it was going to hold me back like almost 2 years. Because of the time frame, and certain times you can only take certain classes at certain semesters. So at that time, I only had two options: either transfer to U of H or Texas A&M Kingsville.
Okay.
So at the time, I was having a lot of fun at Texas Tech. I'm not gonna lie, I was having a lot of fun at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
So I knew that I needed to go to a school to where I could focus. So I
yeah.
chose Texas A&M Kingsville.
So that's the place to go.
Yeah, I chose Kingsville on purpose because I knew it wasn't really for me. I knew it was something that I could really buckle down and be focused and finish my engineering career.
Got it.
Yeah, so that was that's why I ended up in Kingsville. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So let's talk about a little bit of that balance. You said you're juggling, your role as being a full-time engineer. Now you're currently, running a podcast and you're pursuing modeling. That sounds like it's quite demanding. Just talking about the resume, right?
Yeah.
How do you manage your time effectively to excel in all these areas?
So because I heard you mention the podcast. Yeah. So I had the Kings and Queens podcast. And how that came about was actually through me being in Kingsville.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So, like I said, it goes back to, how I was raised and finding that sense of purpose. So like when I was in Kingsville, I was really focused on finishing my degree in chemical engineering. Okay. But at the same time, I wanted to do something more. Yeah. So Kings and Queens was really derived from me being in Kingsville. And I always have the ideology that we're all kings and queens, and I feel like we all have greatness within us, but sometimes you need to see that and hear those stories from other people. Right. So that's how I got into the development of Kings and Queens and really, was able to dive into that. And then I dove into modeling. So I was juggling the podcast, modeling, and then trying to, get the job. Which I got in Austin with the engineering company. So juggling everything for me, it was, I would say it got to a point where it was a lot because I found myself, and this is why I inevitably took a pause on the Kings and Queens podcast. Because I feel like sometimes you gotta focus on one thing and kind of grow in that area before you're able to, grab other things to be great at as well. So for me, I was like, okay, let me take a step from the podcast. I was able to learn a lot from the podcast because through people's stories, I felt like my mindset grew in that way too. So then I took that and then I told myself, okay, how can I develop my career in modeling? Because a lot of people would say, hey, Dolapo, you could be a model, and sometimes I took it like, okay, yeah, like I didn't really take it too seriously until I had my cousin in London. He actually has a clothing line called Mojo Kojo. Yeah, so Mojo Kojo is a UK-based clothing line and it's African streetwear. Nice. So he was actually my first photo shoot that was my first photo shoot that I had with my cousin. So since that time, which was 2018, I've been modeling ever since. Nice. And I just kind of fell in love with it. So for me, it was like, okay, modeling, and then day trading and engineering. Right. So I got into day trading post-graduation. And that was something for me. I'm a strong believer if you can find a skill that you can invest in, you could really take that into and spread that education to other people once you become, a master at that. So for me, that's where kind of like I was able to add the day trading and juggle the modeling in those areas. Nice. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious. I know we brought up the Kings and Queens podcast, right?
Yeah.
What was that reception like at the time? Because with context, like when you came out with this, you're a young black dude. You the child of Nigerian immigrants, right? Yeah. In Kingsville, Texas, of all places. What was the reception there, or did you get much of a reception, or is it people from like out of state, or people from like in the state, or in other countries? That vibe with that? Like, what was that like?
I think the reception was good because even though I was in Kingsville, we did have a black community there as well. But I would say that a lot of my guests started from the people that I knew in Texas Tech University. So since I was doing the podcast remotely at the time, I would get guests from Texas Tech, and then after that I would transition to people who I saw on Instagram that I felt were, kind of pursuing their passion on a high level, and I would reach out to them, just send them a DM and be like, hey, like I'm interested in interviewing you, and they'll get back to me, either say yes, either say no, and then from there I was able to just get a good resume of people on the show, and then slowly but surely, the people around me in Kingsville found out about the podcast and they would tune in and everything like that. But I think that's how everything started. Yeah,
super dope. Yeah. That's super dope. So let's transition from the podcast to the modeling aspect, right? Yeah. It seems like it's a significant shift from engineering background, right?
Yeah, man.
So I know you said people would tell you you look like a model, you could model. Yeah. First off, what motivated you to model, and how has that experience impacted your perception and perspective of creativity and self-expression?
I like that. I would say what motivated me in modeling. I was trying to find out a way to really showcase Black excellence in a way, showcase different stories through different photo shoots that I would do. Yeah. So for me, if anyone were to look at my my Instagram or anything like that, if you scroll down, you would see that a lot of my photo shoots weren't just about me just getting in front of the camera and trying to look good, but more so either showcasing the particular brand that I was modeling for, or it had a deeper meaning behind it. Right. So I had photo shoots with one of my friends. Her name's Tobe. She's based in LA now. But at the time we did a photo shoot together, essentially saying protect Black queens, and how it's important to protect our Black queens as Black men. Yeah. So I think that's something that's very important that a lot of us may, like we said, we're not all perfect, but a lot of us, I feel like we can do better as Black kings to protect our Black women. Yeah. So for me, I'm always trying to showcase something when it comes to African diaspora or the Black community in general in America through my modeling, and try to put that out there in the world. So yeah.
Gotcha. So I was gonna say, man, let's shift gears a bit, right? So let's talk work life balance, right? So I know earlier, we were talking about time management with all the different things you do, right? But let's talk about how do you decompress? Like, what is a day when Lapo wants to relax, like away from the day trading, away from the modeling, away from the job? Like, do you go hit right?
The boy exercise,
right? Yeah. I was about to say, I was like, do you go hit the gym? Yeah. Do you go do you go to the pool? Like, what does decompression look like for you with everything that you have, going on in your life?
I love working out. So that's something that I definitely dive into. And I feel like it's just a way for me to kind of escape the day-to-day things that I'm doing. And I feel like when I was younger, I was always athletic in terms of I ran track. And for me, it was just more so how can I continuously stay fit. So that's, for me, working out's always been a part of my daily regimen, routine. Recently I've added yoga as well. Okay. So I do yoga and meditate every single day in the morning, just to clear my mind and things like that. Okay. And then obviously, I like to have fun too. I like to go out, have fun with my LBs as well. You know what I'm saying? So those are things that I probably do on my spare time outside of
That's what's up. And I definitely wanted to talk about the day trading aspect. That's something I know that's very, very important to you now, and that's been kind of one of the staples, especially if someone looks on your social media platform. How did you get into that, and what made you say this is the way to go? This is the path.
So day trading, when I first heard about it was back in 2016. Okay. And for me, it was more so, I found it as a skill that I could utilize in order for me to make money outside of, my 9 to 5 per se. So I was always trying to, I looked into that and I just immediately gravitated towards it because of the people that I saw in that space and the success they were able to have. So for me, I can see, if I see somebody else, excelling in a particular craft and I'm drawn to it, I'm automatically thinking that, okay, if they can do it, I can do it too. Right. But then at the same time, I feel like it's something that I could kind of bring to the table with bringing financial literacy to not just my generation, but the next generation to come. So for me, day trading is very, very important. Right now, I'm actually developing a course to teach people how to day trade. I do weekly webinars that I host every Sunday at 7 p.m. on my Telegram channel, to where I teach people for free just the basics of trading. And then, if they do decide to hop on my course, they're, willing to do so. But I will continue to do the free courses just to give free content. I feel like it's important to, share knowledge with other people, because what's the point of having knowledge and you just keep it to yourself, right? So.
Okay, cool. So I know I've been kind of shifting gears a little bit throughout the interview, but I'm gonna shift one more time.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
So doing some research on you, right? So I saw that you were cast as an extra in Tobe Nwigwe.
Yeah.
I don't want to chop up the pronunciation. You were in this video FYE FYE, right? A couple years ago.
Ooh, shout out to Tobe.
How did you? Okay, so first off, what was the experience like, and how did you even get linked to that? Like, what's the end on that?
Yeah. I know. I think it comes back down to community and your network. Sometimes that you've heard the saying, your network is your net worth.
Yes.
So for me, I'm always trying to. I love collaborating with other people. And if people reach out to me, I'm always showing love back. I'm never a person who feels like they're just too high or above other people. So during that time, when I was modeling and grinding in terms of photo shoots and everything like that, one of my friends, she reached out to me, and she said, "Hey, Lapo, like there's a casting for this music video. I feel like you should apply to it." And I didn't know what the music video was, but she sent me the link and I applied. And then a couple of days later, I think, it was probably like a week later, I had received the email and they said, "Hey, like you've been accepted as a cast for Tobe Nwigwe's FYE FYE video." I was like, "Oh, okay, hold on."
Hey.
I was surprised. Like I said, I didn't know what the music video was for.
Right.
So that was. I would say right now that was definitely one of the biggest shifts in my modeling career, or just being cast as a model for that music video was very big. The music video itself, Tobe Nwigwe, he was really cool on set. Yeah. His family, he's very family oriented, which I can resonate with because that's how I am with my family. And it was a large amount of beautiful Black kings and queens there, so. It was a dope music video for sure. Like that was definitely one of my favorite shoots today.
With the lime green joints.
Hey, we were looking. Hey, voice was looking good. Yeah, it was good. It was good music video for sure.
That's what's up. So you emphasize about the modeling aspect. It's kind of more. It's predicated based more than just off the physical appearance, right? You talked about the creativity, the style, the confidence that you have, right? How do you approach each modeling opportunity and convey that meaning whenever you're, it's just a photo. I know a photo can speak 1,000 words, but how do you go about looking at that?
I would say, if it is, sometimes I have the video shoots and I have the photo shoots. So for me, like I'm always trying to see, how I could portray myself, accordingly, and align myself with the particular brand that I am maybe modeling for, the person that I'm modeling for, maybe their clothing line, or maybe it's just a creative shoot in general. So those things play in my mind, but I'm really, as a model, I'm really tailoring myself towards whoever I'm modeling for.
Gotcha.
And I feel like during the creative shoots is when I can really like tap in and express myself on a different level. But when it comes to either photo shoot collabs with drinks, I had a photo shoot with Lemon Perfect in the past. Clothing lines, I just had one with Kicking It, Honor the Gift. Wearing, I'm wearing the fit right now. Honor the Gift, Honor the Gift. Shout out to Russell Westbrook. That was a dope shoot for sure. So I think for me, like, it's just trying to consistently build on top of what I've already, have built so far.
Right.
But like I said, for me, big believer in God, just taking this as far as God takes me. So there's no destination per se. It's just, kind of just going with the flow of what God has for me and run with it. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I was going to say, so I know earlier you were talking about, with the Tobe Nwigwe. My bad. Let me get the pronunciation. Nwigwe.
Yeah.
With his FYE FYE video, I know you said networking played a big part and you get that opportunity,
Yes,
right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Outside of that, though, you know, I know you seem to be, at least, you know, via your social media presence, you seem to be, you know, a very popular guy. You seem to network a lot. Has that networking, has that played any, you know, has that provided any other opportunities for you outside of that video?
Yeah. So, yeah, after that video, I had a lot of people reach out to me for more photo shoots, and then I ventured into fashion shows, and that's, I feel like with the Tobe Nwigwe video, it definitely was able to catapult my career in modeling, and open more doors of opportunities for me because people saw me from the video, and then I had more people reach out to me from that. So yeah, it was definitely a blessing, and I was just able to, you know, capitalize on it. I feel like, you know, like I said, with your network, just the people around you, if they see you consistently putting in work into a particular thing, you know, eventually you're gonna have people that want to come out and help you, and that, I feel like that's just the journey of every man and woman. If you are someone who is focused on a particular skill set or craft, or you have a hobby and you're constantly putting in the energy and you're putting it out there to the world to see, you're gonna have people, you know, come to you and help and want to help you because they see the work that you're putting in and the effort you're putting in, you know.
Right. So, that's what's up. So what advice would you give young creators who are trying to pursue, you know, their passions, whether it be modeling or day trading or so on and so forth? Any, you know, skepticisms or resistance that you have seen in your journey? What would you tell someone, a young King Lapo, like, yo, my G, you need to check out, you need to watch out for this?
Yeah. I would say a big advice would be to, you know, make sure that you, whatever you're doing, it has to mean something to you on a higher level. And then at the same time, have fun with it. But the most important thing out of everything is, like a lot of people say this, is to just start it, right? Sometimes we get into the process of analysis paralysis, right? And you might be just spinning your wheels on a topic, on an idea, or something that you want to do, but you never actually implement it. So for me, like, execution was a big thing. Execution, not being afraid to reach out to people for help, or you know, just putting yourself out there in general. So like, execution is the main thing, because what's the point in you know, having all these ideas, but no one's able to you know, really see what the artwork or the piece that you're trying to paint for yourself in terms of your life. So I think that's a big advice I'd give to anyone, kind of any creative or in any profession in general. Just, you know, go out there and do your best, and every day, like I like to say, the moment you can commit to something, that's when God will give you clarity. So yeah.
Gotcha. So I was gonna say, so let's talk the future, right? So I know, doing some research on you before, I know you've mentioned that, you know, you have a desire to leave behind a legacy, right? With that said, what does the long-term future look like for you, both like personally and professionally? Like, what does that look like 5 years on the road for Lapo, 10 years on the road for Lapo? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. The future is important. I believe I try not to fixate myself too much on the future, but it's something that I definitely put at the forefront of my mind in terms of how I move. But like I said, I like to have the balance between being present in the moment as well. So I don't find myself kind of getting ahead of myself or trying to place certain expectations on myself for a certain deadline and be disappointed with the results, or me not even meeting that goal. But having said that, the future is important because you know, the things we do today determine tomorrow. And so for me, knowing that now and just growing up and, you know, becoming more wise as a man, as a black man, I feel like the future is something that a lot of us should put it in the forefront of our minds when it comes to, you know, what do you want to leave behind? You know, I always ask the people who I'm around with. I know you guys had, you know, my boy Kevin on the pod here.
Divvy Views.
Yeah, Divvy Views. So we always have these talks.
AKA Realtor Bay.
Right, yeah, Realtor Bay.
We always have these talks every like we be on the phone like late at night on FaceTime, just constantly having conversations like this about the future. What do we want to leave behind as a legacy for our kids, for our kids' kids, and for our community as a whole. So for me, the future, I want to be able to, kind of create something that I can leave behind for my kids, but also impact the community when it comes to African people, Black people in general, because of, just our history in general. We've been, oppressed as a community for so long. So I feel like it's up to us, for those who are in the position to create change. I feel like it's our responsibility to share and share the knowledge and help others through our journey. And you don't even have to be at the highest point in your journey to help people. Like I said, right now I'm doing the course for my trading, my day trading, but I'm trying to take that further to spread that brand, spread that just the ideology of investing your money and become wealthy off of it. Right. So I'm trying to spread that throughout America and Africa, and really give back to my people, and which will help myself, my family, and those around me as well. Right. So that's a big thing for me when it comes to thinking about the future.
I got one more question before we move on to our next segment.
Okay.
Since you talked about wealth, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's only right that we ask this question.
Okay.
So I'm curious. Let's say I'm a brand new trader, right? My portfolio is naked. I'm just out here. I'm just asked. I'm just like, yo, Lapo.
Yeah.
What's up? I need some advice. Give me the first steps that I need to do. But keep in mind, my portfolio is naked. I'm out here I just got the bread. What's up? What can I do?
So if you want to become a day trader, what I tell all my students now, I essentially tell them, okay, if you want to make money, you have to understand the work that comes with day trading, because it is a lot of hard work. But once you are able to find and utilize a particular strategy, which is where a mentor comes in, or you're able to learn from a course per se. Once you're able to learn that, that essentially allows you, or lays the foundation for you to continuously excel. So the first thing you want to know is you want to understand the platform or the financial instrument that you want to trade. Okay. So for me personally, I trade in with currencies or commodities, and indices as well. So for example, if you wanted to trade that, or if you wanted to be a stocks trader, options trader, everything comes down to understanding how the market moves when it comes to, and the key term with that is technical analysis, is what majority of traders use in order to analyze the market and analyze the charts. So it's a lot that goes into it, because you're understanding how the market moves in terms of when it's hitting certain levels of, for example, support and resistance, which are basic foundations of trading. But when you get into the nitty-gritty of things, and understanding your different time frames and how you can trade when it comes to, are you a short-term trader or you're a long-term trader? Emotions is another thing that I'll touch on to as someone who's starting, because you have to understand, for myself, through my journey of trading, I feel like what I've learned is understanding my emotions, and understanding that myself as well. So once you are able to realize, how you can have a better idea of how you react to certain things. Maybe if you lose money, you get in a certain mood where you want to revenge and try to get that money back. You can't do it, because there's a fine line. There's a fine line between trading and gambling. Fine line. Trading has rules, set rules. Right. So you have to follow those rules. And the last thing that I would say is that as a trader, you want to win every trade, but you have to understand the reality of it is that you're not going to win every trade. So what I tell people is that you want to get to a level to where either you are 70%, 60%, even 55 or 50% profitable as a day trader, and stick to those rules, and you will be successful. It's not really about winning every single trade, because that's not really possible.
Right.
You're gonna have places where you're going to lose. You might have losing streaks, but understanding, staying true to your trading rules is all a game of probability and statistics. So if you stick to your trading rule, and your trading rule says, or your statistics say, okay, I'm 60% profitable, even if you have that losing streak, you know that you're eventually going to get back into the green, as long as you stick to that plan.
Right.
So those are the key main points I would say. Yeah.
All right, cool. I was gonna say, man, so that was a solid Q&A, man, but we're gonna go ahead and move it on to the next
Let's
segment.
do it. Let's do it, brother. My bad.
We're gonna move on to the this or that segment. We're gonna hit you with a few rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Modeling, day trading, XYZ. Now you gotta do this or that and why.
Yeah.
Okay.
And why? Okay.
All right, we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you wanna start it off?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
go
All
ahead.
right, okay, here we go. Starting off. Runway or photo shoot? Now, we done stomped a few people before,
Yeah,
so
we got a few people.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad.
This got to be rapid fire?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Runway or photo shoot? That's a good question. I'd say photo shoot.
Photo shoot.
Yeah, photo shoot, because you can you have more time in front of the camera.
Got it.
To really express, and people are able to visually see what you're trying to depict. And they say picture speaks 1,000 words, right? So
Right.
I think I'll choose the photo shoots.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up?
Gotcha.
High fashion or commercial modeling?
Commercial as in, like, what are you talking, like Nike, Calvin
Yeah.
Klein? I would say right now, commercial. For me. Yeah, one of my goals is to either model for, you walk into the store and you see Lapo on Calvin Klein cover, Tommy Hilfiger, Nike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm trying to get
Would
that
you
to-
like you pop your collar a little
Right,
bit like
right,
you saw,
right.
like
Yeah,
damn, that's fly. No, my bad.
Yeah. So the commercial, yeah.
Okay. Next one. Studio lighting or natural light?
Natural lighting. Yeah, natural lighting. Natural lighting, because it just, I feel like it just accentuates more of your skin tone, yourself, your features, imperfections as well. Because even as a model, you don't have to look perfect.
Right.
I feel like imperfections is what makes a model as well too.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
That's dope. Pose shots or candid photos? Candid moments.
That's a good one. I feel like that's a good one.
Might have got him, Coach.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if I could choose one. I would say pose shots overall. Just because some pose shots, they're not supposed to feel comfortable, but they will look good on camera. So even me, I'm trying to get better with my posing as well. But models who are very, very, cold at posing, they'll tell you that some of the poses, they might feel awkward, they might feel, uncomfortable, like I said, but on camera,
it looked good.
they be fine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it kind of translates to the whole ideology of, making sure you are uncomfortable or comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'd say the pose shots.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. They say next one, we got fashion magazine covers or advertising campaigns.
Ooh, I've done the magazine covers, so I'd say the advertising campaigns.
Got it.
Yeah. Just because I feel like now, just in the day and age we are with social media, I feel like that would get more exposure than as opposed to magazines. So yeah.
Got it.
Let's take a shift. Stocks or crypto?
I say stocks.
Okay.
Yeah, I say stocks just because of the. I would say it's more quote unquote reliable. It's been around longer than crypto, and with stocks, long term, if you know what you're doing, you'll make money with stocks consistently. Yeah.
Okay. So I think this next answer might be a little biased.
Yeah, it might be a little biased.
Long-term investing or day trading?
Come on. Yeah, I say day trading, man. Day trading because it's just which is, my answer might not be politically correct,
Yeah.
but because of the it's the way it makes you feel. The day trading, just that idea that you can make money just like that.
Right.
You know, you don't have to really wait. You know, for months or a year. You can get that. You know, your return on investment. You see it very, very quickly, but you see the losses very quickly too.
Yeah.
But I think just playing that those two sides of the coin, that yin and yang, for me, I prefer the day trading aspect because it's exciting for me. You know, I think that's what makes me interested in day trading as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
Let's do technical or fundamental analysis.
You've been doing your research.
Hey man.
Yeah, I say technical analysis. Yeah, technical analysis. You have different traders who trade solely fundamentals. So for people who don't know, fundamentals means you're trading based off of news that comes out. So for example, if you have, if maybe a president has a speech, if a president has a speech, right, and that can maybe shift the market in a certain way. But from my experience, technical analysis sometimes, I'd say 8 times out of 10 goes with fundamentals when you know what you're doing. So I would personally side with a technical analysis point of view because I feel like I'm a visual learner too. So if I'm able to, place my structure in certain things on the chart for me to see and utilize that as a hypothesis on how I want to trade, I would rather choose that as opposed to relying on the news aspect of things with fundamentals. So.
Got it. Okay, next one we got trading on your own or using a brokerage firm.
Y'all really be
We be on it.
Yeah, y'all be on it, man. Hey, 2 Hour Lunch Podcast, man. I would, I don't know if I could choose. I have to choose one, right?
You got to choose one.
I got to choose one. And you said trade on your own or
brokerage, using a brokerage firm.
I'll say trading on your own or like proprietary trading firms, you would say, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say trading on your own. Ultimately, I feel like every trader should get to the point where you're just trading on your own. You're not relying on proprietary trading firms. And for those who don't know, proprietary trading firms are firms that allocate you a certain amount of capital to trade with. You receive a profit split. It might be an 80-20% profit split. They get 20, you get 80. Some different prop firms do it differently. But I would say because you don't want to just be tied to a proprietary trading firm because they have rules, they have regulations on how they want you to trade. If you break those certain rules, you could lose the capital. If you trade for yourself, you're trading any type of way that you want. It's your money. The capital in there is legitimately all yours. You're not being funded a certain amount of capital. So I would say the key to become a successful trader is to be able to get to the level to where you can stand on your own and trade your own capital. So I would trade on your own for sure.
So, 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast viewers, I want you to know you just got a master class.
Right, yeah.
Day trading right here, right?
Free game
off of this and that. Y'all need to pay attention, right? You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get back into it. Risk taker or conservative investor?
Damn. I would say risk taker.
Okay.
Risk taker because anytime you take a trade as a day trader, you're exposing yourself to risk. So I would say just understanding that aspect of things is very key too. So just knowing that every time I place a trade, there's a possibility that I could lose money. But I have that at the back of my mind before I'm even executing that particular position. So off back, I already know that I'm risking, right? So there's nothing really, I can be conservative and, take a position and hold it for a longer period of time. But at the same time, like you're still, you're still risking money at the end of the day.
Right.
So yeah, I'd say risk taker. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right, man. So now, man, we on to the final question of the night, right? So
Okay.
We talked about this off air already, right? So we hit every guest that we have with the same question, right? So you got a chance to be here. You got a chance to chop it up, fellowship, XYZ. You know what the vibes is like, right? So with that said, who do you think would be a good guest for the podcast in the future? But before you answer, it has to be that like somebody that's in your contacts that can be like, hey man, I kicked it with the 2 hour lunch break, man. I had a ball, y'all boys had to pull up, Who would that person or people be?
Off the top of my head right now, somebody who I would think would be a great asset to this podcast and what you guys represent and bring is my boy Brian, Eat Greedy Fitness. So shout out to Brian, Eat Greedy Fitness. Y'all got it. He's based in Dallas, but he primarily lives in Austin. His family lives in Austin, so he can for sure come on and hop on here. He's a personal trainer.
Shout out.
But that guy, he's solid. He's solid.
Tap in.
I say pull up on us, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Give everybody your social media handle. So
So for people who want to, find me, you can tap in with me on Instagram at King Lapo. That's KXNG. Lapo LAPO, or you can find me on with my modeling as well on there. But if you want to find more trading things as well, I would say follow my trading page, which is at the Model Trader on Instagram. So you'll see all of that on my main page at King Lapo. I have TikTok as well at the Model Trader. So those are my main platforms right now.
Hey, all right, man. Well, that wraps up this edition of the 2 hour lunch break, man. Once again, shout out to the homie King Lapo for, taking time out of his busy schedule to pull up on us.
Yes, sir.
Man, shout out our production behind the boards. You can't see him, but he's behind the boards, man. You can find him at Cafe Yodo. Shout out to our home studio, Dawa Studios, East Austin, Texas. Episodes of the 2 hour lunch break can be found on all streaming platforms, and you can find us on Instagram at 2HLB Pod and on X at the 2 hour lunch. Thank you for tuning in. We out. Peace.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.